dots. Okay, looks good, but unfortunately everything is reduced to single line in terms of its spacing, and I think this looks like double spacing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, again, with all this selected, I didn't have to unselect it. Make sure that you selected the Home tab, and you want this button. In the paragraph group, we want to go to the spacing, and we're going to change this to double spacing. Ah, there we go. Looks much better. Okay, so now that we have the spacing done, the next thing to do would be to include this map right here. Actually, before we do the map, let's do this. Let's just take care of the footer section. So for more information, visit thesolisacademy.com. Okay, that looks pretty cool. How do I get to the footer section? You'll notice over here, if I click, I'm not able to get down here into the footer section. So what you want to do is move your mouse pointer all the way down to the bottom, double click. So click, click. Now you are in the footer section. Here's the header section, right? So we have the top part or the bottom part. I already see that someone put a center tab here. Actually, someone being Microsoft, right? They put a center tab here. So watch what happens when I press tab. My cursor is blinking here. When I press tab, there's my cursor. It's blinking right here according to this center tab stop. And what I want to do is I want to insert, what is it? For more information, visit thesolisacademy.com. Okay, so for more information, visit thesolisacademy.com. I have my text, but I can't see it. It looks like it's cut off here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my mouse pointer over here to this part of the ruler here, where the division between the gray and the white section here. So I'm going to increase the size of my footer, or my footer. Here we go. Now I can see everything. So I just simply dragged and dropped this location right here. Okay, I think I'm finished with my footer section, so I'm going to click Close Header Footer. So now I get a chance to see what it looks like. It looks a little bit grayed out, although when you print it, that won't be the case. It's just indicating that you are no longer in the header footer section. Okay, let's go back over here, and it looks like I need to place a map of the school here. So let me go ahead and switch over to Internet Explorer. If you don't have Internet Explorer, then that's okay. And all I'm doing here is I'm looking at the Citrus College map here. And the way that I found it is I just simply went to citruscollege.edu. Here it is. And I want the campus map. So let's see here. If I go to A to Z, if I click C, and let's see, campus map. There we go. And let's see here, would that be campus directory? There we go. So I like this map right here. And I want to take a picture of this thing. Well, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to press the print screen button on your keyboard. See, this is a PDF document, so if you right-click it, I don't see a copy option over here, but that's okay. We can still copy this thing. I don't think these things allow me to copy, do they? Let's see, what does this guy do over here? Click to create PDF using Acrobat. No, I don't want to do any of that. I just simply want to copy this part right here, right? This is going to allow me to save, and this is going to be allowing me to print. Okay, I don't want that. I just simply want to copy this part here. If I could screen print it, that'd be fantastic. So here's what I'm going to do. Let me zoom out just a little bit, and then I just want like this whole thing right here. How do I do that? Or actually, how do I print this whole screen? So on your keyboard, you're going to notice the PRT-SCR button on the top of your screen, or top of your keyboard. That's called the print screen button. And what that button does is it just simply takes a picture. Nothing's going to happen when you press it, but it just simply takes a picture of your monitor. Okay, so I'm going to press that right now. You go ahead and press it as well. Okay, wow, nothing happened, right? Well, here's what we're going to do. You're going to switch back over here to MS Word. Actually, let me do this one right here. Okay, there we go. So now you're going to paste what you've just taken a picture of. So you can just simply do Control V as in Victor, and there it is. That's what you've taken a picture of. You took a picture of your computer. Specifically, we have all this. I don't want all this stuff over here. I just want this map. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to select the picture. So click on top of it, and you'll notice that the Picture Tools Format tab is available, where you're going to click on that Format tab. Specifically, what you want is you want this cropping tool. So select Crop, and then you'll see these handles over here, these crop handles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move them over, and notice what happens. You are getting rid of the part of the document that you don't want to see, or I should say not the document. You're getting rid of the part of the picture that you don't want to see. So if I move these in a little bit, all right, I need to zoom in. This is going to require a little bit more detail here. So let me zoom in over here, about 170, and let me get rid of all of this. Let's say that I don't want, maybe like right here, and right there. I don't want the street name, and I'll go down as far as the top of these circles, something like that. Okay, so now that I have finished cropping my image, I can click crop again to turn off that feature. And now notice what happens. Let me zoom out. All you have is just the image that you want. You've removed the part of the image that you don't want. And that's simply using the crop tool. Very handy. Okay, so now I'm going to take this thing. I want to drag it over here, but how do I do that? Because see, the way that a picture is treated is not necessarily what you think. You can't just simply take this picture and drag it. As you can see here, I'm trying to do that right now. It's not working. Why? Because this picture is being treated as a letter. See, what happens is if you go over here to the wrap text options, you'll see that we're basically treating this picture as if it's in line with text. In other words, it's treating it like as if it was a letter. I don't want that. I want to be able to move this thing around. Well, if you want to move this thing around, then you may want some of these other options over here. So let's see what happens when I select square, or I'm just hovering over top of square, and same thing with tight, and same thing with through and bottom, so forth and so on. Okay, let's see here. What happens if I say in front of text? Okay, so I want this thing to be in front of text. Well, now I can move this thing. So as you can see here, I'm able to move it throughout the document. Let me zoom out a little bit more, and let's place this, let's say somewhere right here. If I want to resize it, I can. In fact, I think if I go back to the middle, it looks like there's a little tiny border around this picture here. So maybe I should do this. I'll have this thing selected, and let's see if I can remember which border I selected. I think it was this one right here. Yeah, I think it's this one right here because it has a shadow in the background here. So it looks like I selected what? Simple frame black. But that thickness doesn't look right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on top of that, and I'm going to say format picture. Alright, so this format picture gives me all kinds of options, including, let's see here, fill, line color, style, okay, the width. I don't like that 3 point. I don't like this thickness. Let me change that to 1 point. There we go. That's much better. Now I can click close, and if I want to, I can resize this thing. And let's see, I'm going to simply drag this handle over here. By the way, that green handle allows you to rotate that. I'm going to hit Control Z. I don't want to rotate this thing. I just want to resize it a little bit. I'm going to put something else over here, so I want to make sure I have enough room over here. That looks about right. I'm just eyeballing it. Okay, so that takes care of the map. See that little tiny building right there, IS building? That's where we're going to meet. Well, how do I put something like this? This is called a callout. Hey, meeting area right here. How do I do that? Well, this is what you're going to do. You're going to click Insert, and then you'll notice over here where it says Shapes. Click on Shapes, and then you'll have all these callouts. Where are they? There you are, callouts. And I want this one right here. Let's say this one right here. So I'm going to click this one, I should say, and then I'll just simply drag it like this, say for example. Okay, meeting, Shift Enter area. This is the meeting area. Oops, here we go. All right, let me resize this thing so it looks something like this. That callout is not correct. I'm going to grab that yellow diamond and drag it pretty close to the IS building, which is right there. See, I can always zoom in a little bit too. Move up a little bit. There's the IS building. Oh, that looks good. And if I wanted this to be a little bit closer, I'd move this over here like this. That's fine. Now let me zoom out. There we go. So that's the meeting area. And I think that'll do it for these two. Now, of course, if I drag this, hey, wait a minute, this thing doesn't drag. Let me hit Control Z. So really these two things should be one. How do I make these two different items one? So I'll select the picture, which is already selected as you can see here, and then I'm going to hold Shift on the keyboard. By holding Shift on the keyboard, now I can select something else, and specifically I'm going to select this callout. Okay, now I can let go of Shift on the keyboard. Now I'm going to right-click on top of these items, and you'll see that one of the options is to group them. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to group these two, and so now when I group them, and if I try to move one, the other is going to move as well. See that? Okay, I want to hit Control-Z on the keyboard. I want to leave it right there. Okay, so the last thing to do is to place a text box in this area. So if you click the Insert button, and then you'll see the text box option over here. Now there's all kinds of text box options that you have. See here, we can just simply scroll down to see all of them. The one that I want you to click is the simple text box. So we'll click this guy, and I'll just simply move this over here into position. And I want this thing to be approximately the same height as this. And let's see, as you can see here, I'm just simply moving the resizing handles, and this thing's going to be a little bit close over here, and something like that, say for example. All right, what's the text supposed to say? Okay, what? The Solis Academy MS Word Summit. Okay, so what? The Solis Academy MS Word Summit. Press enter. When? January 12th, 2013. Okay, when? January 12th, 2013. Press enter. Well, I said 2012. 2013. Here we go. And where? Citrus College, IS Building, room 108. Okay, so where? Citrus College. What did I say? IS Building. Yes, IS Building. Hyphen RM 108 for room 108. Now it's indicating that it doesn't know what RM stands for. Well, RM is an abbreviation for room. That red squiggly underline, I don't need that, so I want to right click on top of the RM. It's giving me some suggestions. I'm just simply going to say ignore, because there's nothing wrong with RM. In fact, I could put RM period, I suppose, if I wanted to be technically correct. It's an abbreviation. So I'll just simply place my cursor over here, press enter, and then what do I have? Looks like it's contact information, the address of the school, and then the phone number. Okay, so contact information, and then I'm going to hit Shift Enter. So I have that hard return, Professor Robert Solis, Shift Enter at 1000 Foothill Boulevard, Shift Enter. That's in Glendora, comma space California, space 91741, and then I'm going to press enter this time, and it looks like I'm supposed to place my phone number. Okay, so that's going to be phone, comma, parentheses 626 914-8853. Okay, so there's my office phone number. I think that's it. All right, so we're finished typing the text. Now what we want to do is we want to make it look like this. We want the text box to have this orange background with, looks like a little bit of a light reflection on the top. Here's what you'll need to do. First of all, make sure that you've clicked the perimeter of the text box. And then over here where it says Shape Styles, this section over here, we're going to click this More button so we see all of the different options. I think this is the one that I want you to click. Yeah, here we go. What does it say here? It says Intense Effect Orange Accent 6. Perfect. So I'll select this guy. Ah, that looks beautiful. I'll have a little bit of a drop shadow over here and a little bit of light reflection over here. Let me just unselect. That looks beautiful. Okay, so I think that is it. Look at that. How about that? So let's save this thing. And if you wanted to save it, you would just simply click File and then Save As, and then you could save it to as whatever you want. So in this case, we'll save it as a Word document. And even though this is like an agenda for the Solis Academy Summit, I'm just simply going to say this is going to be MS Word Lab 2, something like that, and then just simply click Save. And that's it. All right, so this is Professor Robert Solis. I hope this video lesson was helpful. Have a good day. We'll see you next time.